I'ma warn you, in your circle don't mean that they in your corner. Almost was a goner 10 years for marijuana. Only thing I ever said in court, I plead the fifth. Hell no, and no, your honor, so the streets honor me.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the aftermath of Colin Kaepernick's debut. You know, they did some little janky shit with the contract. They, you know, tried to spin some bad stuff with Stephen A. Smith. Think that he's speaking for the NFL, I guess. You know, I like him most of the time. You know, some of his opinions make sense. But do we have to fall up under him and what he has to say? Probably not. He got a $9 million deal. He got a job, so what does he care about someone else's social injustice and that they're doing yet again and telling him to sign a contract that says they can't sue him if he gets hurt? So we'll be talking about two opposing opinions here, and you will be hearing some short audio from Stephen A. Smith that'll be very short because YouTube's very sensitive these days. If I put anything on here, they just copyright. It could be less than 30 seconds. They still will go ahead and flag me instantaneously. So I'm about tired of it. But, you know, who knows? If this channel will be around after December, you know, when that date comes. So make sure you subscribe and support the channel, or subscribe. Come to our site, Radiotubetv.com. So, you know, we'll be talking about COPA later and what it could do to this channel, but I'm not going to talk about that right now because we've never really relied on YouTube. We didn't really have like a big, you know, audience here. We do have those that are with us, all 50 something of our subscribers. We appreciate you. But, you know, I'm just happy with what we have on the site. We have thousands of subscribers there. So it just seems strange that all of a sudden, you know, when they change the terms of use and they keep changing them, we don't get as much exposure, but we're happy where we're at. Just like Colin Kaepernick, you know, in this case, he did his workout at a high school. He did it at a different venue because he was tired of all the restrictions. So we'll get into that later, but at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and let you listen up next. Up next, you're going to listen to Shannon speak about this, as well as, you know, this is actually on the Undisputed TV show, which is ESPN, so I'm going to let you hear a little bit of what he had to say.
Disappointed with how Cap handled the situation. I think everybody knows that's watched this show for the last 3 years, Skip. I've been one of Cap's biggest supporters. You and I talked about this, I believe, every single day for about 3 or 4 months. When everybody else touched on it at the beginning and left the subject alone, you and I talked about it. I talked to Cap. I knew how much he wanted to get back into the league, and I even coined the term. I said, Cap has been whiteballed. That has not changed. But the way he handled this situation, Skip, now, he knew that he received this on a very short notice. He could have said, you know, my representative have just given me word that the NFL has set up a workout for me. I will get back to you as soon as I know more details. He jumped in head first. So you knew this was going to be on a Saturday.
Okay, so that he's basically saying that he should have thought about it and took his time and probably, you know, waited a little bit. And I agree with that. But for it to hand out like this, I'm kind of mad about it. I think that because he's a free agent, he feels like he can say what he wants to say, and that's his prerogative as a man. And a lot of people feel like this is a plantation type contract they gave him, you know, hey, get back on our thing and do whatever we say, and we're just going to make you look like you're acting a fool if you don't do what we say. You know, he acting a fool, just like on The Apprentice when Vivica Fox was acting a fool, supposedly. But I'll let you listen to Shannon Sharp in his closing statement. I don't want to go too deep into it. There's a link below for this content here that we're actually using, courtesy of Undisputed Live, 11/18/2019. We do not own this content, and you're listening up next to what he had to say.
He turns around because what he did, Skip, he's in his camp and his supporters said the NFL wants to control the narrative. Well, the NFL says we damn sure not going to let you control the narrative. And he walked into a trap that they set because by him changing it, since he's a diva, that's more trouble than what he's worth. Now, you had 25 was there because let me tell you what happens. And I'm going to put it in terms that people can understand. Skip Bayless, let's just say for the sake of argument, there's something going on. You don't really want to attend anyway.
Okay.
30 minutes before you're supposed to get there, you receive a call said, we're moving the venue. What you think you're going to do?
I'm good.
Thank you. And that's what 25 did. That's what 17 of the 25 that were there, they said, nah, we good. That's what north. Way north.
In this high school,
and this is south.
Way south.
And I know people say, well, but if they came there, they could have saw him play. Riverdale is like the airport, like 15, 20 minutes away. True. But they didn't want to be there to begin with. So this was the end. But my thing is,
okay, so we're going to get off on that one. But so basically he's saying that he should have been smart enough to see that they were going to do something to make him look shiesty, so now they can say, okay, we can't work with you. You acting a goddamn fool. And I agree with that. You know, I feel like at some point you have to let it go. But for them to do what they did, he feels like it was disrespecting him. I don't know how much money he made off of the Collusion deal. Just let it go, Kaepernick. Just let it go. We want to see you play. I think he needs to quit talking. I think he was better off just staying quiet, just because, like, it's not working out. And someone like Antonio Brown's being considered a player. He could talk all the ish he wants. He can call somebody